everybody, I'm Rhea.
And I'm Brandon.
And you're watching
More Love with R&B.
And today, you're engaged!
Yay!
Now what?
There's something to do? I feel like most guys are saying like, what do you mean? That's it.
Yeah, you're engaged. Now what happens next? That's what we're going to talk about.
That's what we're going to talk about, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. So, congratulations, first and foremost.
Yay!
You guys are now in full planning mode. You're getting your marriage license. You're looking for places to live together. You're looking at honeymoon trips. And you're actually going to be planning the wedding.
Yay! However, we have some things that we want you to think about.
Yes.
Now that you are engaged.
Yeah. So, one thing we want you guys to think about is consider premarital counseling.
Yes.
So, we'll say like for us, we dated for like maybe 90 years before. No, I'm joking. We dated for a long time. And so because of that, we wanted to make sure we were going to do it right. So we actually did our premarital counseling before our engagement.
Right.
But it's not to say that your marriage won't work if you get engaged first and then you do premarital counseling. But just keep in mind that premarital counseling might bring up some stuff in you and your soon-to-be spouse that might need to be addressed before the wedding. And it's not a bad thing. It's actually good that these things come out. But maybe get engaged and then do your premarital counseling, but just don't set a date yet, just so that you have time to work through all that singleness issue gunk that everybody has and kind of walk through that before you set a date. So definitely consider premarital counseling. It changed our life.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. My next point would be to be ready to compromise. It's almost cliche with how often you hear in good, successful marriages, you have to compromise, the both of you. And while you're planning your wedding and planning where you're going to live and how much space am I going to get in the closet and how much money we want to spend, like you already have a perfect foundation for compromising with one another. Planning your wedding and all this other stuff that comes with, before you get married.
Yeah, about that compromise. How much closet space did you compromise?
He compromised.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that you did.
Okay, next thing. Another thing too is put your soon-to-be spouse first now. That kind of goes in line with the compromising. Like put them first now. Your friends, your family, everybody needs to start taking a back seat so that you and them can start learning what it looks like for two to become one and you to start thinking about the other person first. And then you can consider everybody else. But consider your soon-to-be spouse first now. Start working that into your daily rhythms of, I'm going to go do this. Well, let me call my spouse first, make sure they are in the know and that they understand and that they agree. Like start learning what it means to work as a team now.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Another important thing to consider whilst in your engagement phase is to discuss your expectations now and start trying to walk in them. We hope that you guys have already watched our 5 things to talk about before you get married. And so in that video, not to spoil it too much, but in that video, we said that you guys need to start talking about expectations in a general sense. Now that you guys are engaged, you need to go back through and start talking about your expectations very specifically, because when you guys move in together, when you say I do, those expectations that you have need to start happening right then and there. And it makes an easier transition when you already know what is expected of you once you get married. So have a sit down, have a chat, talk about what it looks like to be someone's husband, what it means to look like to be somebody's wife, to your fiance.
Yes, the fiance.
Your fiance, and start walking in that expectation now.
Right. The next thing I want to say is this. Keep dating.
It's so important.
So we cannot stress enough the importance of continuing to date. I think we've said it in like 2 or 3 other videos in all the different tips that we've had, like, oh, this tip to this and 5 tips for these, and keep dating seems to like always come up. And it's mainly because when you guys met and you went out for the first time and you looked at each other and just was like, I think I'm in love with you. You're so kind and gentle and sweet, and you're so handsome and you're so funny and all that stuff. Like, those moments were very, very important, and they were very crucial to where you are now.
Yeah.
And so sometimes we get so caught up in wedding planning, we get caught up in everything else under the sun that we forget what brought us together in the first place. And dating, continuing to date, once you get married, don't let your career get in the way. Don't let your hobbies get in the way. Don't let your kids get in the way. Don't let outside sources get in the way. Don't let your friends and family get in the way of you continuing to date each other. It seems easy now, but I promise you, it gets way more difficult the longer you're together. And so that's why we put such a big emphasis on dating, so that 5 years from now, 10 years from now, when you're more successful in your careers, or your kids are getting older, or you're deeper into some club or group that you're really, really involved in, that you still have that connection with your spouse that kind of only comes from spending quality, intimate time together.
Yeah, I agree. These are all the tips that helped us, or that we wish we knew when we were engaged. So, ladies, you finally got your ring. And guys, you finally got down on one knee and gave this ring to your special little lady. And now that you're in this planning phase, you tend to forget the things that are common knowledge. The things that if you probably weren't engaged, you're like, oh yeah, that's easy. I knew that already. But we want you guys to focus on the important things between you and your soon-to-be spouse, and don't let the wedding planning and the moving and the getting monies together and all the hustle and bustle make you forget that you are about to be somebody's spouse. Till death do you part. And so you want to make sure that you're keeping that at the focal forefront.
There we go. She got it.
You want to make sure that you're keeping that at the forefront, and that you're preparing your actual marriage, and not just focusing all of your time on the wedding.
Right.
Even though that's important too.
It is important. So we really appreciate you guys watching this video.
Yeah.
If you liked it, give it a big thumbs up. And hey, if you agree, if you disagree, go ahead and throw some comments in the comment section. Come and be a part of the conversation, and let's chop it up. If there's something you feel like we forgot, go ahead and throw it in the comment section. And if you have not yet, and you are watching this, and we know who you are, we don't know who you are. Please
subscribe.
Yes.
Please.
So again, thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it. We'll see you guys later.
Bye. And congratulations.